Hey everyone, welcome to part 6 of my DVD collection. Here we finish off S and move straight on to Z. So start off with Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Probably my favorite musical. Great performance from Johnny Depp. Swim Fan. Swordfish. Taking of Pelham 123. Tears of the Sun. Great action flick with Bruce Willis, that one. Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Very bizarre film. Funny, but bizarre. The Terminator with a funky case. Very good 80s sci-fi. And of course, Terminator 2, the better of the two films, but one's still pretty good. But Terminator 2 is probably my all-time favorite sci-fi film. There's Terminator 3, which there's some of it I don't like, but there's some of it I do like. I don't like the idea of them making the third one after what happens at the end of the second one, but how they handle doing 3 was okay, but just that one little detail of why they made 3, though the whole explanation behind it in the movie was just kind of, oh, you're just saying that just so you can make more movies, but it was okay. It was a lot better than the one that follows, which is Terminator Salvation, which I think is a good action movie, but a terrible Terminator movie. Just completely unnecessary in the Terminator franchise, but if they just kind of just went for a typical action movie, I think it would have been a lot better. The remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's actually pretty decent. I was expecting it to be pretty bad, but it's actually pretty good. I haven't seen the originals, so I can't really compare. Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, this one is just really cheesy. It's not supposed to be cheesy, but just the over-the-top violence makes it cheesy. Thin Red Line. This is Spinal Tap. It goes to 11. I don't think I've seen the end of that one yet, actually. I've seen most of it. I just don't think I got to see the end of it yet. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. The latest CGI animated one. It's okay. It's pretty fun. Torque. This is just a goofy movie. It's just, if you like your intense racing, driving movies, it's fun, but it's pretty silly. The Town. Earlier I showed you Gone Baby Gone, which was the first movie directed by Ben Affleck. This is the movie he followed up with, and it's so much better than Gone Baby Gone, and Gone Baby Gone is a great film. But just the acting, the direction, the action, the characters, it all just flows. I'm really hoping to get that one on Blu-ray later and get the extended cut. Toy Story 3. I have the other two, but they're on tape. Rock it old school, you know. But Toy Story 3 is a really great film. In fact, if you look up, I have it hanging on my wall. So that just shows how much I like Toy Story 3. Traffic. This is the 2-disc Criterion edition that I didn't even know existed until I found it. Traitor. Here comes a trilogy of movies. You either love them or you hate them. Some of them I love, couple of them I love, one of them I hate. And that is the Transformers films. So this is number 1, which I think has the best story out of all of them, which isn't saying much, but yeah, I think it does have the best story, the best way of connecting events. My least favorite one of them, Revenge of the Fallen. This one was really really bad. The action and the effects are cool, which, you know, that's kind of one of the things you want to go for with a Transformers movie, but the dialogue, the acting, everything else, really bad. And then the last one of the franchise, Dark of the Moon. This one I like because, like, the last half of the movie is just straight up action. I went and saw it in the theaters in 3D, and it was actually pretty decent in 3D. But again, the acting, the everything else doesn't really work. The best acting was in the first one. The best one is the first one. But if you want the best action, go for 3. The Transporter, the movie that really jump-started Jason Statham's career. The Transporter 2, which is actually pretty decent. And Transporter 3, which it does have its moments, but I just keep wondering, why did they make it? There was no real demand for a third Transporter movie, but they did it, and it was okay. Tron Legacy, the visuals in this are really good, but the story, and this is kind of like Transformers, just a little bit better. Like, it's still not great acting or great story, but it's better than Transformers. But it's just kind of the same idea. Actually, the one that I compare this to most often is what was it called? Avatar. I find this to be like Disney's Avatar. It was all about the visuals and the 3D and less on the characters and the story. But the visuals are very, very cool. Tropic Thunder. Pretty silly. It's got some good lines in it. I do find myself every so often kind of quoting this movie. It's okay. Troy, one of my favorite Greek epic style films. It's been a while since I watched it, but I do remember very enjoying it, because I had only intended on watching like the first half and then picking it up later, and wound up watching the entire thing. But yeah, it's very good. Some good action to it. Don't remember much else from it. And then recently I found the director's cut of it, which I haven't watched because it's 196 minutes. So yeah, that's a long movie. I haven't found the time to watch it, but I figured, it was like $3-4 or something like that. Brand new too. It wasn't like a second-hand thing. It was actually brand new. So I figured, you know what? I like Troy so much, I'm going to get the director's cut. But I still haven't watched it yet. Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, True Lies. This movie, aside from Street Fighter, is probably my biggest regret buying. This was a blind buy. I thought I would get into it because it was a new fad, and I find myself I kind of get caught up in the fad. It's not like hardcore as some other people, but I find them that okay, I see what people like it. This movie was a mistake to buy, and I sometimes feel ashamed, but I'm going to show it. Twilight. I bought it when it came out, and in all honesty, it is the best out of the series. I will give it that, because I've seen the first 3. My camera's going blurry. There we go. I have seen all the first 3, and I'm not really in any particular mood to see the last ones. But out of those ones, this one is the best one. But I was just watching, and I was just like hitting my head on the wall. Why did I buy this? But I have no shame in showing. I did buy this, and it's kind of the reason why I've kept it is to remind me to be very cautious of blind buys. So let that be a warning to all of you. Be cautious of blind buys. Sometimes you might get some good ones. Other times you might wind up with that. Twister. I remember watching this as a kid and loving it. Looking back on it now, it holds nostalgic value for me. It's not a great movie, but I guess I guess it's a guilty pleasure. I guess that's how you could call it. 2 for the Money. Unleashed, great Jet Li film. Another terrible blind buy, Ultraviolet. From what I remember, the action was good, and the reason why I bought it is because I figured it looked kind of like, what was the other movie she was in? Resident Evil. So I kind of figured, it might be the same kind of fun as Resident Evil, but no, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Untraceable. V for Vendetta. This is actually a very, very good movie. Van Helsing, another kind of guilty pleasure. I know it's pretty bad, but there's just something about it I really like. Vantage Point. Vertical Limit. This is actually a kind of underrated film in my eyes. It's actually very well done. It's well shot. The characters aren't that great. They're your typical survival characters, but for the most part, it's actually a very enjoyable film. Waiting. Crude, very gross at times film, but also very funny. Oops. Wanted, great action in that one. War, I found this movie to be very interesting until like one of the final twists. The ending of the movie is kind of for me. One of the twists, I think there was 2 twists. Yeah, one of the twists I liked. One of the other twists, not so much. But overall, it's actually a very good movie. The Steven Spielberg version of War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Very good opening, but then it kind of drags about the last three quarters to half the film. Watchmen. A lot of people really don't like this movie. And this is one of those ones where, typically I say I like it and I understand why people don't. This one I don't know why people don't like. I found it very faithful to the graphic novel, and I found that the changes that they made were actually pretty good compared to the graphic novel. So I don't really see the big issue people have with this one. If someone who's like a diehard fan of the graphic novel and didn't like the movie, please tell me why you didn't like it, because I'm really curious as to why people don't like this one. But I really do like it. We Own the Night. Wedding Crashers. What's Eating Gilbert Grape with a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. What Happens in Vegas. Very typical very typical romantic comedy. Had 1 or 2 good lines. White Chicks. I remember seeing this when it first came out, and I thought it was really funny. But I watched it again a year and a half ago or something like that. And while some of the lines do hold up, it's actually a pretty dumb movie. Very, very dumb. Whiteout. Willard. Fall down. Willard. The Wrestler, the movie that brought back Mickey Rourke. Although, actually, I think one of the movies that he did prior to that was the one that brought him back. But you'll see that in a later video. X-Men. X-Men 2, probably the best out of the trilogy of films that they did. It's not the best X-Men movie. Again, you'll see that in a different video. X-Men 3, The Last Stand. there's parts that I like about this, and there's parts that I don't. And I know this is one of those ones where I understand why people don't like it. I didn't find it terrible. I don't understand all the hate to it, but yeah. This one, however, I do understand the hate to, and that is X-Men Origins Wolverine. Again, one of those movies where it's a great action movie, but it's not a great movie in its series. Like, similar to how Terminator Salvation was a great action movie, just not a great Terminator movie. This is a great action movie, just not a great X-Men movie. Hugh Jackman does a great job as Wolverine. He is the best live-action version of Wolverine. But this movie, they just tried to cram so many mutants into it. It just got bogged down, and they really mucked it up. They really did. But like I said, it's got good action. Triple X. Triple X 2, State of the Union. Not as good as the first, but has some redeeming qualities. You Got Served. This is a dumb movie. When I first saw it, I thought it was actually very, very fun, but yeah, it's just a dumb, cliched pile of crap. And also, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but what is this guy doing? Take a look at the case if you ever find it. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but this guy is making the goofiest face I've ever seen put on a DVD case. Last two here are Zodiac, which I don't remember much of. I remember I've seen it, but I don't remember much of it. And one of my favorite comedies, last film here, Zombieland. This is awesome. I really want them to do a sequel to this, or do what they were originally planning on doing and make a TV series out of it. Yes, if you didn't know, Zombieland was originally supposed to be a TV series. For whatever reason, it didn't get made, and they just decided to do a movie out of it. But I'm hoping that they either make a sequel or go with the TV series, because this was a lot of fun. The characters are great. The lines are hilarious. Yeah, what else can I say about it? So that concludes video number 6. Yeah, we're on 6, right? Yeah. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for video 7, which will be my box sets. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.